Welcome to the class, my dear students. I hope you all are doing well. So today we will start with the Mendeleev's periodic table. We have discussed up to Mendeleev's periodic table. So my dear, up to Mendeleev's periodic table, everything is based on atomic weight. Fine. Now, in 1913, Moseley was the scientist who said, who gave Mordaunt's law. What he states that according to Moseley's, the periodic table is based on atomic number. And this law states that the physical and chemical properties of the elements are a periodic function of their atomic number. The physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic function of their atomic number. My dear students, before that, every scientist is working on atomic weight. But in 1913, Moseley changed that concept. He gave Mordaunt's periodic law. According to Mordaunt's periodic law, the physical and chemical properties of elements are a periodic function of atomic number. Now, why atomic number? First, atomic number is equal to the number of protons or electrons in neutral atom. And my dear students, in any type of chemical reaction, 99% the reagents means attacking thing, reagents means either reactant or product. So what is going on in chemical reaction? They interact with each other, in which rearrangement of atoms takes place. And in the structure of atom, electrons are revolving. So they are the first species which interact with the attacking reagent. Because protons and neutrons are present inside the nucleus. So in chemical reactions, electrons are basically involving. So that's why the properties of element are based on atomic number. So Moseley states that the physical and chemical properties of elements are a periodic function of their atomic number. Okay. Now, what is Mordaunt's periodic table? So, if I will ask, why periodicity occurs? Why the properties repeat after certain regular interval, either increase, decrease, or show a particular pattern? Why? What is the cause of periodicity? The cause of periodicity is the similar outer electronic configuration of elements. Okay, this is the reason the elements show periodicity in properties, because those elements whose outer electronic configuration is same is clubbed together and form in one period or in form one group. Okay, now we will tell now I am going to discuss about the present periodic table, long form of periodic table, or also known as Bohr's table. That is our Mordaunt's periodic table. Modern's periodic table, also known as Bohr's periodic table or long form of periodic table. This table is based on atomic number. Okay. So in this table, there are total of 18 vertical columns known as groups or families. And there are 7 horizontal rows known as periods or series. How many groups? 18 groups or 18 vertical columns known as families and 7 horizontal rows known as periods or series. So, like this, I'm roughly draw the table. Suppose this is your periodic table. In periodic table, there are total of 18 groups. Group number 1, 2, 3 to 12. Group number 13 to 18. And periods 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fine? Now, there are total of 7 periods, 18 groups, and 4 blocks. The first block is of S block. It contains 2 groups, group number 1 and group number 2. Its properties I will tell you later on. First, I am giving you a brief idea about our modern periodic table. We concentrate here. Group number 3 to 12, they are known as D block elements. And group number 13 to 18 constitutes P block elements. Now, what is this? Where is our fourth block? My dear, from D block, these 2 series of F block comes F block elements. So, if I will ask how many blocks? There are total of 4 blocks. S block, D block, P block or F block. S block constitutes group number 1 and 2. Group number 3 to 12 is your D block. And group number 13 to 18 is your P block. And in between the D block, 2 series of F block elements will come out. Okay. This is the general view of your periodic table. It is based on atomic number. Fine. This law was given by Moseley. It is also known as Modern's periodic table, Bohr's periodic table, and long form of periodic table. I hope is it clear to you? Now, I'm going to tell you little bit idea about the characteristics of all these blocks. Fine? Like S block, P block, D block, and F block. So, first, S block. My dear, in your periodic table, left hand side, or I should say most of the periodic table constitutes metal. Okay, and there are 22 non-metals and rest others are metalloids. Or in short, mostly your periodic table consists of metals. So first I am taking S block elements. S block elements. It consists two groups. Group number one, known as alkali metals, and group number two, known as alkaline earth metals. Fine. My dear Bete, you have to learn the elements present in these groups. At least up to 11th level, 11th class, you have to learn the S block and P block elements. Everyone. So, what are the elements present in this group? Group number one, hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium. These are alkali metals. Why alkali? My dear, when you form its hydroxide, I mean their oxides form hydroxide which are basic in nature. So water soluble bases are known as alkali. That's why they are known as alkali metals. It is hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. The general electronic configuration of this group is NS122. For this alkali metal, it is NS1. For this, it is NS2. Okay, like it's 1s1, 2s1, 3s1. You will see the outermost electrons are same in all the groups, in this group. That's why they are clubbed together and form one single group. It's how you will remember, है लीना की रब से फरियाद, और है लीना की रब से friendship. Whatever you want to learn. Hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. Helena ki rab se faryad. Okay. Now next comes our alkaline earth metal. It is beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium. Okay. It's how you will learn. Beta mange car, scooter, baap, roy. Yeah, Razi. Beta mange car, scooter, baap, Razi. But these are the mnemonics which you have to learn. Otherwise, you will forget. Fine. These are S block elements. Now, what's their characteristics? These all are soft metals with very low melting and very low melting and boiling point. These all are soft metals. Even sodium and potassium can be easily cut with a knife. Fine. These are soft metals with low melting and boiling point. They have very low ionization energy, which means they lose their outermost electron very easily. That's why they are very reactive. The compounds of S block elements are generally ionic in nature. Ionic means transfer of electrons. They are soft metals. Their ionization energy is very low. That's why they lose electrons very easily and very reactive. and they are transferring their electrons to other. That's why they are forming ionic bonds. They are strong reducing agents, and they all are good conductors of heat and electricity. I hope is it clear to you all? Is there any doubt? Please let me know. Next is our p-block elements. Elements. It is group number 13 to 18. They are group number 13 to 18. It is present on the right hand side of the periodic table. Their general electronic configuration is NS2 NP126, which means in all these elements, their s orbital is completely filled, and p orbital can have 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 or 6 electrons. Okay, so the elements in which last electrons entered into p suborbital or p shell is known as p block elements. Fine. The elements of S and P block are called as representative, normal, or main group elements. Okay. S plus P block elements means group number 1, 2, and 13 to 18 are known as main group elements, representative elements, okay, or normal elements. Now, group number, see, group number 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It is boron family, it is carbon family, it is nitrogen family, oxygen family, fluorine family, or it starts from helium, xenon. This group number 18, also known as noble gases or inert gases. Why so? Because they are unreactive. They do not react with each other. But in class 12, you come to know that some of the compounds of xenon are also found in nature, are also found. Fine. So generally they are not so much reactive, they are unreactive in nature. Group number 17, that includes fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. These are halogens. Halo means salt forming. Why so? Because they help in the formation of salt like sodium chloride, like potassium bromide. They all are salts. Group 16, also known as chalcogens. Fine. Group 15, why chalcogens? Because they are ore forming. They help in the ore formation. Generally, ores are found in oxide form, like aluminium oxide, that is alumina. Okay. So what are the general characteristics of these p block elements? These p block elements includes both metal, non-metal, but it includes metal plus non-metal, but non-metal is predominant in this group, and some of the metalloids are also present. This group mostly constitutes non-metals. Okay. These groups maximum show mainly form covalent compounds, which means they share the electrons with each other. Their ionization energy are relatively high. If IE is high, then they are not so much reactive, which means they do not give their electrons very easily. In that case, in p block elements, some of the elements show variable oxidation states also. Okay, these are the general characteristics of p block elements. Now next comes to our d block elements. Next is our d block elements. They are known as transition elements. These are present in group number 3 to 12. Okay? D block elements, also known as transition elements, and their general electronic configuration is N-1, D1 to 10, NS2. My dear, in D block elements, in which the penultimate electrons, the electrons enter in the penultimate shell, or if I will say like it is 4s2, then N-1, it will be 3d10, which means in this, the d or the electrons enter in penultimate shell of d orbital. Like if it is 5s2, then it will be 4s2, 4d10, or 4d5, 4d3, whatsoever may be the element. Depending on that, the configuration in which you can say that the elements in which the last electron enters in any one of the 5d orbital of their respective penultimate shell. Penultimate means second last. Okay, penultimate means second last. Now their general characteristics. See, they are very hard and malleable and ductile. Malleable means they can convert it into sheets, and ductile means they can drawn into wires. They show variable oxidation states. They form both ionic as well as covalent compounds, and they are generally colored compounds. Fine. They form alloys. What are alloys? Alloys are homogeneous mixture of metal with metal or metal with non-metal. Okay. Now, last is our F block elements. They are known as inner transition elements. Everyone concentrate here. I can see your faces. So, the elements in which the last electron enters any one of the 7 F orbitals of their respective anti-penultimate shells. In that case, anti-penultimate means third last. Fine. So, first see their general electronic configuration. For example, if it is 6s2 or 7s2, it will be 6 and it will be 5. Fine. In which the last electrons, I mean the third last electrons, is going into the NH1 orbital of the F shell. Okay. Now, why they are known as inner transition elements? Because they are coming from inside the transition elements. Yes. Yes, speak. They are known as inner transition elements because they are coming from inside the D block element. There are two series of F block elements. First series is from 58 element to 71, that is lanthanoids. And second series is from 90 to 103. It constitutes two series and it is actinoids. F block elements constitute two series. First one is from 58 to 71 and second one is from 90 to 103. Fine. Now, they are also known as rare earth elements because they are not so much found in nature. They are very much, they occur scarcely in the earth crust. Okay, now their general characteristics, they are heavy metals. They have generally, if they are heavy, which means their melting and boiling point is high. Their compounds are also generally colored and they have very strong tendency to form complexes. And mostly they are radioactive elements, which means they generate radiation. So my dear, that's all about your modern periodic table. Modern periodic table is based on atomic number, in which there are total of 18 groups in 7 periods and 4 blocks. Groups are vertical columns and periods are horizontal rows. And blocks are S block, P block, D block, F block. Mostly the periodic table constitute metals, 22 are non-metals and some are metalloids. Fine. Group number 1, 2 are also known as S block elements. Group number 3 to 12, D block. And group number 13 to 18, P block. And in between the D block, the two series of F block elements comes out. Fine. Now, what are the defects in that periodic table? See, in this table also the position of hydrogen is not justified till now. Hydrogen position is not justified. Now, lanthanoids and actinoids, why they are coming out from the table? The proper justification is not given for that. So, lanthanoids and actinoids have not accommodated in the main table. These are the two drawbacks of periodic table. That's all about today's lecture. If you have any doubt, then please let me know.